What's up guys, Sportshot here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the basics of using the Krunker map editor. But before we get into it, you guys should subscribe and hit that bell notification button if you want to be notified of my future tutorial videos, and I'll be doing tutorials on almost everything in the game. So if you want to watch those and be notified when they come out, all you have to do is subscribe and hit that bell notification button. Anyway, let's get right into it. Alright, so to actually get into the map maker, all you have to do is click Games and then go into Game Editor. And it will just come up on your screen right here. You will use right click to, like if you drag your mouse around with right click held down, you can look around, and the left click doesn't really do anything. But to get started, you're going to want to put down a block. And to put down a block or almost any other item, you're going to want to go into Basic, or Object up here, Basic, Cube. Now you don't actually have to click on these, you just kind of hover and then you can click on whatever you want right here. Now, to make a simple floor, I'm going to go through these three tools right here. Now, the middle one right here, rotate, is kind of broken, but I'll get into that soon. So right here we have our translate tool or a movement tool, and you can use this to basically just move around your objects. Now, if you want to move on a certain plane, like the horizontal plane here or this plane right here, I don't know how the color codes are matched up to the X, Y, and Z. But you can kind of get the idea of it. If you want to move it on a certain plane right here, you can move it in a two-directional way, or you can move it in one direction by just dragging on one of these arrows. And if you want to move in a three-directional plane, all you have to do is grab that little cube in the middle, and you can move it anywhere you want. But I don't really suggest doing this because it's not very accurate. So I'm going to put the cube, actually I'm going to delete this cube right here. You can press this delete button if you want to delete something, or press the delete key on your keyboard, but I'm going to put in a new cube, and we are going to get into this tool right here, the resizing tool. Now all you have to do with this is you can kind of drag it out, and it will resize equally in both directions of whichever way you drag out, except for when you go up and down. That way it'll only just kind of resize up, it won't resize down as well. Now if you want to resize the entire object at the same time, you just get this middle key, or this middle cube thing, and you can resize it like that. So I'm going to finish building a little base plate right here, or a little area for us to just walk on so we don't fall right through the floor right when we spawn in. So now to make it so you can actually spawn in, all you have to do is go into Object and Tools. Now this is everything that you need to make a game work, to add new game modes to something, or to give your game functionality, essentially. So I'm just going to add a spawn point right here, and this is a point where people can spawn. Now if you want to, you can have it be select to a certain team right here, and to do that, all you have to do is just go in Team 1, Team 2, so you can have both teams spawn at certain sides of the map. You can also edit the direction, so you will have people spawn in certain ways facing a certain direction. If you want them to be looking at like a sign or a window or something like that, you can just change that up like this. And if you want to, you can also type in positioning right here, so you can see when I move it, position updates right there, and I can kind of type in a position, so that'll move it there. Does the same with rotation, and yeah, it's pretty simple actually. So I'm going to get into the rotation tool now and show you. It's pretty simple. It's just a standard rotation tool. Nothing really like crazy about it right here, although I did say that it was broken at the beginning, or in the beginning of the video, and I'm going to show you why right now, because the hitboxes on it, or on different objects in the game, are really kind of glitchy. It is something that you can work around, but you do have to put extra time into something. So I'm going to make this block pretty big right here. I'm going to up the size it to like that, and now you can see that it is, well, it's a pretty giant cube. So now I'm going to rotate it. Now the problem with rotating in the editor now is that when you rotate, the actual hitbox of the item won't be rotated. So I'm going to show you how to, or why this is a problem. So if you go into the start button, and to test out your map, all you have to do is press this little play button right here. But when you are testing out the map, I'll spawn in right here, and you can see that, oh hey, this cube, it isn't, I can just kind of walk through it, but I can't walk through the sides right here. This is because it kept its original unrotated hitbox while only rotating the visible object, and I'm going to show you guys how to fix that up real quick. So to fix that issue with the really weird hitbox, all you have to do is go into the object menu by clicking on the cube right here, and you can just kind of change up this. So you want to turn it off collidable, and now you want to build your own hitbox around it. Now I suggest using the cylinder, which is at the bottom of the basic objects, and all you have to do is move it out right here, and I'm going to make it smaller than the actual player, so that will reduce bumpiness for when an object or a player kind of travels along that. Now I'm going to make it as tall as I need it to actually be the hitbox of the object. Move it like right there, and then all you want to do is turn the visibility off. Now next you're going to want to duplicate this, and to duplicate it all you have to do is go into edit right here and then go into duplicate. That should duplicate the object, so now you have two of them, and all you want to do is create a kind of staggered outline of the actual thing right here. So I'm not gonna do this too much right now to bore you, but I built a fairly big enough wall of cylinders right here just to kind of show you how it'll work. So I'm gonna press play here, minimize this tab, and go into the game. And you can see now that with this little area, we kind of made a fake hitbox here, so it will actually kind of react the way that you want it to. But obviously you're going to want to put this around the entire area that the player could go, so they don't just kind of walk behind the wall. And now I'm going to get into how to style your basic objects. So if you want them to look different, all you have to do is, I'm going to put an object in right now. I'm going to use a sphere, or a cylinder actually, right here. And you have a few different options right here. So you have your texture options, and you have your color and kind of other basic options right here. So if you want to change the color, all you have to do is go into here, change the color around. You have your simple hue and brightness selector right here, and you can have an emissive color as well. So if you want it to glow or emit red, something like that, it's kind of like a secondary color that they add on top. It's pretty cool. And you can also, if you want to make a window, you can make it semi-transparent, or if you want to make it like a ghost or something like that, or like a cloud, you can do that. And you can also turn on and off shading, but this only works if somebody actually is using shaders, and I'm going to show you what a shader will do. So a shader will essentially make a shadow right here, and you can turn that on and off in the general game settings. Other than that, you also have a texture like selection right here. So if you want it to be like a fabric, or maybe bricks, or just gray, or tile, you can make it be whatever you want out of here. You can also do a few other pretty cool things, like if you want it to look a little bit different, you can kind of change that up here. So if you want a certain texture to be the same texture but a little bit staggered compared to another thing. So if you want to just have two objects right here, and then you want this one to look a little bit different, you can have that. Or if you want it to be like a conveyor belt, or wheels, or like a road that you're driving on, all you have to do is turn the speed up, and you can have it change in different directions. And you can also have this change through different axes. So if you want it to go up and down, just do y-axis, and if you want it to go side to side, use the x-axis. You can also do this with any other object in the game that uses a texture. So if you want it to make it look like you're floating, or you're like driving a car on a moving train, you can just have like build a train, and then you could have like dirt moving past, and it kind of gives the impression that you're moving. Now this video is getting kind of long, so I'm just going to go over a few more things in the objects menu, kind of like your different models right here. So if you want to have a window, kind of like in the Sub-Zero map where you have windows on the sides of buildings, all you have to do is put one in. Now it does have this background right here, and that is to make sure that you have it in at the right angle, because you don't want to have floating windows in your map. So all you have to do is, I'm going to rotate this a little bit, Actually, no, I'm not going to rotate it. I'm just going to make a new cube. Alright, so I have a new wall right here and a new window. So I'm going to show you guys how to do fine adjustment right here. So all you have to do is go into this position tab and type in a certain decimal. Now you're going to have to guess and check. I just got it right that first time out of pure luck. So you might want to start at like 0.5, and if that's still too much, just kind of go in and yeah, it'll usually be fairly easy to do that, and it won't take too much time per window. But once you got that per window, all you have to do is duplicate, move your other window, and because when you duplicate an object, it won't take a decimal, just put in that same decimal or that same position number that you had, and you can have that same window twice. Now another thing is, if you want a floating window for some reason without this backer, you can just put this opacity down to 0.9, and you can kind of see through the window, but not really too much, and you won't have that annoying backplate. And now I'm just going to be showing you guys some basic objects that you can put into your map to make it look better. So if we go into light cone right here, if you want to have like a flashlight or a like street light or something shine down in the dark, you can have it do it through this, and all you have to do is you can change up the opacity. I like it around 0.5-ish, and you can change up the color as well if you want. So if you want it to be like a yellow light, you can have it be like that, and all you have to do is kind of change the size of it depending on how big you want it to be, and yeah. And the only other extremely special object in here is the liquid right here. You can see that this is how you're going to make flags or water or something like that. Now you can change the movement up here to kind of give it a kind of flow to it. And all you have to do is look into the wave section right here to change up your wave settings. So you can have it wave like an extreme amount or like a very shallow amount per like wave here, and if you want it to go the other direction, you can. So that's pretty cool. And you can also change the speed of the waves here and the height of the waves if you want it to be like super wavy. Now you might think, why would you want it to look like this? This looks really weird. All you have to do is kind of zoom it out a lot to see why people would want it like this. Just in case you want to have a really big ocean just be one object, you can have that happen through larger waves. So if I'm gonna make the speed go down here and the height go down here a little bit, it looks pretty realistic to how a normal ocean would be. And if I want to just change this to a bluish color, like that, it looks a lot like water. And you can kind of change this right here to whatever you might want your water to look like. I personally think the roof one looks the most like kind of plain water just kind of moving through. And other than that, you have your ramps and your planes, which are extremely simple. You have your ramp right here, which is just a singular plane, but at a 45-degree angle or whatever angle you want it to be. It just goes from one corner or one edge to another edge, and you can just kind of make it whichever shape you want. And if you want to change the way that it's kind of rotated, all you have to do is go down into here and actually no, it's right up here. Just change your direction, and if you want it to boost somebody into the air, all you have to do is change the boost up, and I'll show you what that does right after I show you what the plane is, which is also extremely simple. So if we go into object here, go to basic, and I will show you the plane right here. The plane is essentially just a flat ramp. So if you want to have a wall or a ceiling or something that doesn't really need to be that complex, you can cut down on lag by having parts of your map just be made out of a single plane, because it is just one single flat edge and you don't have to load in the 4 edges on the side, kind of like how you do with the cube. Alright, so I'm loaded into the map right now, and I'm going to show you guys what the ramp does with the boost. All you have to do is step onto it, and it will fling you in a certain direction. Now, you can have that change depending on how much boost you put on it, and depending on what the direction is. So if you want people to kind of fly around your maps and like be flung into certain hoops, or have them fly through like certain holes, or like get to a certain place, you can have that done using the ramp. So that's going to be about it for this video. Thanks for watching, and if you want to stick around and see more advanced tutorials on how to make Krunker maps, all you have to do is subscribe and hit that bell notification button. I'll be uploading once or twice a week with these tutorials. And yeah, that's going to be about it. Thanks for watching, and yeah.